This program is designed to provide general information with regards to the subject matters covered. This information is given with the understanding that neither the hosts, guests, sponsors, or station are engaged in rendering any specific and personal, medical, financial, legal, counseling, professional service, or any advice. You should seek the services of competent professionals before applying or trying any suggested ideas.
Hey, it's Brian Sebastian, movie reviews and more, and obviously if it's Tuesday, we're live as usual. So today is show one, let's see, where are we at? Show 121 live, show number 47 of this year. So we only got a couple more to hit 52, and we have done it 2 years in a row live. Obviously streaming on Talk 4 Media, Talk 4 K4 TV, K4 HD Radio, and obviously on over 100 outlets around the world. And if I sound strange, hi Terry, it's because I'm not used to not having my headphones on. Yes, I'm in a different location. Yes, I'm in the same house in a different room, but we do the best that we can. So this is going to be a fun show because I've been looking forward to two out of the three people. One joined late, so I never know what's going to happen, as we had one person that had to take themselves out, and we substituted that person for another person. So she's sort of a friend. She's a speaker. She's an author. She's got two books. So I can tell she's looking at me funny. One is Diamond in the Rough. The other one is Encouragement Matters. And It's a fun thing about that because I liked her when she came up with the name Girl Get Up. And I thought that was a great name for her and for what she's doing and for her ministry. And, the one and only, my friend from, Clarksville, Tennessee, Jamie Lynn. And then we have this guy, we only met maybe 4 days ago, maybe 5 tops. And
I cannot understand anything you're saying.
Well, I won't talk too much because you're on your cell phone, so that might be different. Everybody else can hear me okay?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, yeah. It's not because you're on your phone, Jamie, that's why. So it's one of those things where he's that producer, he's that actor, and it's one of those things where a very flattened Christmas. And I like this movie. It's in theaters on a limited run, and he just needs a couple more critics so he can end up on Rotten Tomatoes, which I don't care about. But for those artists and those actors, producers, directors, they need those reviews like that. So he's coming from the Mid-South, Ketong Toothman. And with this lady, I always find her interesting. I forgot where I had originally met her, but it's one of those things where we kind of connected. Because she's got great energy. She's that internationally known speaker. She's an entrepreneur. She's an author. She's got 7 books. She's that business coach. She does a lot of public speaking for those people for business coachings. And she's also, I like this thing she has. She's a connector. She has great energy. And the really important thing is she will make you $150,000 in her first year of your speaking engagement. And if she doesn't, she will work with you until she does. So that's a great thing. Orly Amor. And with that, we got a co-host from Brentwood, Tennessee, Howard Wiggins, actor, dancer, dapper. And we're going to talk about what room he's in and what he's wearing. Then she's probably in Sherman Oaks. I think she's in Sherman Oaks today. Yeah. She's been for over 10 years, nonstop, Terri Marie. All right. So this may be an interesting show. So let's go with it. So, Orly, we got to start with you first. Let's talk about you. You have a lot of energy. You've done a lot of speeches, let's say around the world, virtually, in person, whatever, and work with a lot of clients. For all those people who want to be speakers, people who haven't thought about it, what would you say to them on what makes you special? Because you're special in all the things that you do.
That is so sweet of you, but thank you for having me. And what I say to people is that I don't want anybody to go to the grave not speaking and not telling their story. That's really my advocacy, because in the act of sharing, there's contribution, and you just might save someone's life, which was my story and how I got started public speaking and coaching as well.
Okay, so Chi, let's talk about this. Let's talk about what state you're in, first of all, because it's not easy to show limited runs of an independent film in the state that you live in. But also, I found you interesting with your 20,000 subscribers, and I didn't even know you had 7 million views on your YouTube channel. I was happy for you. Talk about that, because that's important. Not everybody has that.
Yeah, I'm just a huge movie fan. I've always loved movies. I believe, as she was just saying, stories are important. And I think as human beings, we're storytellers at heart. That's just what we do. That's what we want to do. And I believe that movies is the best format to tell a story. And so some years ago, I decided to do a podcast where I just start talking about movies, reviews, news, and things like that. And it kind of snowballed into what it is today,
And Jamie, you may have problems hearing us, so I will talk slower. But so it's one of those things. Let's talk about you, because I said you always needed to have more publicity, more interviews. That's why I like Orly, because she does a lot of that stuff, which is why I wanted to have Keon, because he's got a film out there. It's not easy to have a film on a limited run. So I've invited him on last minute. Just let's go for it. Let's see what happens. So Jamie, talk about who you are and where you're coming from.
Talk about what?
Who you are and where you're coming from.
My name is Jamie Lynn, and I have an organization called Girl Get Up for Life. It started off as Girl Get Up, and what I wanted to do is bring women together to share their stories. And Girl Get Up for Life has morphed into God leading me to wanting to help women and children have been human trafficked. As a child, I went through tremendous sexual abuse and physical abuse and was taken from my mom. And, God just gave me the revelation just recently, like there was no name for it, but my mom knew what was going on and allowed these things to happen in our home. And so we ended up getting taken away. But what I want to do is link up with other organizations and just help as many women and children as I can. I love communicating. I love talking to people. I love interviewing people. I love being interviewed. There's something in me that comes alive when I get to do stuff like this, because it's like, all the trauma and stuff that I've been through, I get to go out and share that and, hopefully help pull somebody else out of a pit that they've been in. So, right now, it's just connecting with other organizations and getting Girl Get Up for Life up and going.
And Orly, I saw your face light up when she says that, but hold on. All right, Terri, tell them who you are, where you're calling from, followed by Howard. Go ahead, Terri.
Oh, hi, everyone. I'm Terri Marie. I've been with Brian for over 10 years. I started competing in fitness at the age of 46. I've been competing I haven't competed for the last 4 years, but I'm going to be getting back up on stage. I have good news. Last week, we all know my mom went into the hospital. My mom is home now. She has congestive heart failure and she had a blood clot. So one of the things that I have a question about, which we can go into later, is I do want to do some speaking on elderly and family and conservatorships and the stuff that you don't think that's going to happen later on in life that's causing me a lot of trauma that I don't think is talked about enough. So that's kind of where I would like to go, like with my public speaking when I start that. But as far as what I do celebrity hosting on the red carpet. I am now on TikTok Shop. So if you want to see some of my favorite products and get some discounts on TikTok, you can find me on Terri Marie Nonstop. What else? I do some art, and I've been acting all my life. That's why. Oh, and I'm also in the field of orthopedics, so that's why they call me Nonstop.
Howard.
I'm Howard Wiggins, Howard Wiggins Interior Design. I'm one of the world's 35 leading interior designers. I'm listed in Andrew Martin, Volume 3. I'm son of Little Roy Wiggins, who played steel guitar for Eddie Arnold. I have a new design term called stacked and layered that if you go to my Facebook, you'll see examples of that. Let's see. I've been with Brian 2 years. I'm with Nashville Women in Film. I've done some movies. I've one is Who's Going to Take Care of Me, which is going to be in Hollywood when it gets promoted. And then I've got one that's Without Warning coming on pretty soon that will be shown locally. Let's see, I'm in Diana Firefly's book. It's a children's book, and I'm a voice of a rabbit that is named Nigel. Let's see. And I'm 71 years old, and I'm known for kissing Dolly Parton, as Brian says. So that's a good story. I love that story. That's pretty much me in a heartbeat.
Yeah, and that's why I like Howard. All right, so Orly, you can go back when I saw your face light up when Jamie was talking about what had happened to her. Go for it.
Yeah. So my story is really simple, and Jamie, I totally relate to you in so many ways as well. So I was a beaten up child. I was molested 4 times before the age of 14. I was raped 3 times before the age of 22. Twice gang raped, 9 months apart, left for dead. And I was also married to a very abusive husband, both mentally and physically. And as a result of that, I gained a morbid amount of weight. I was 428 pounds at my heaviest, and I had 4 abortions. The reason I'm telling you this story and so quickly is not to really stay there. It's because I do believe in sharing your story to inspire others. And Jamie, that's why I relate to you. But it also, and because I was not a victim of human trafficking, I did start an organization called You Are My Light Foundation. So if you go to youaremylight.org, you'll know more about us. But we are building healing centers for rescued victims of human trafficking, sex and labor slavery, so that we can give them back their God-given right to life, freedom, education, and autonomy. And that's what I'm relating to you, Jamie. I would love to support you in any way that I can, even though I just help speakers to get paid, Brian. I have a bigger mission.
And you do a great job on that mission too, which is kind of why we connected with Michael Whitehouse. I like the stuff that you do. Congratulations on all the stuff that you've done. And it's never easy. I tell Terri and I tell a couple of people all the time. It's everybody has gone through something. It's either you got to get it out in a book, you got to get it out in art, gardening, act it out, movies, music, whatever, songwriting. We talk about all of that stuff here. It is all important, and that's why we kind of bring everybody together, if that makes sense.
Absolutely.
Key, we're going to come back to that. Key, set up this movie that's playing in a limited run, because we'd like to keep it going for another week or two. Talk about that, and we'll show this trailer.
So in 2016, 2017, I co-produced and co-wrote a TV show called Flattened. And it was a 6-episode series. And, you know, a lot of years that went by, and locally here, you know, you guys may have never heard of it, but locally here it was kind of a thing, you know. And so as years went by, you know, people kept asking us, you know, is there going to be another season of Flattened? Are you guys doing more Flattened? And, you know, as Brian was just mentioning, you know, we are all artists, and we all need to have some sort of creative outlet and artistic outlet, because we just want to create so much. And I wanted to make a movie, and, you know, the director of A Very Flattened Christmas and the director of Flattened, his name is Shane Wallace. And, you know, he's one of my best friends, and he also wanted to make a movie. And when we sat down, you know, we just kept coming back to Flattened, because people kept, you know, asking. It's a great core of Wichita's finest actors. And so, you know, we got all these actors that want to come back. And so we're thinking, you know what, why not do it? And Shane pitched the idea to me of coming back to Flattened, but with a movie. And I had 2 stipulations of doing so. It had to be a horror movie. And then 2, it had to be at Christmas. And those were the 2 stipulations. And it kind of just snowballed from there. We started filming in December of 2021. It's been a long process. The film's out now locally in this region in a few theaters, and it's doing well. We have we're at 6 critic reviews now on Rotten Tomatoes with 3 positive reviews. We have 100% audience reviews on Rotten Tomatoes as well. So yeah, it's pretty exciting.
Okay, let's take a look at this trailer.
Awesome.
Oh, hey, Merry Christmas. How do you find this beautiful day?
It's dead, like our dear friend in the ground. But you never give up hope. Who knows? Maybe this is the Christmas he comes back.
I know I'm not the guy. You know I'm not the guy. You're just using me as bait. Run away, coward.
Describing major plots involving powerful people spanning back decades. Sounds like half our nation these days.
Hold it right there, zombie Bambi.
So many quiet years. And all of a sudden, people start showing up murdered.
As you feel the pain, just remember, it's supposed to.
Max!
It's all right. I'm here, baby. It's
Merry Christmas.
I'm the dick puncher. I punch dicks, and I make millions, baby.
Friend dies, and that's it.
I got eyes and ears everywhere, watching us.
And you think that was enough to then kill his friends?
Money! Hello, anybody out there?
Stop right there!
You don't even work here. And when you did, you were like the worst employee I ever saw.
Oh, you've had this coming a long time.
This is my special day.
All right. So let's talk about this. Because here's the thing. October, I wanted to go see a regular movie. I couldn't see anything because it's nothing but horror movies going out there. I'm like, what's going on? But the thing about it is, when I went up to Universal, it was packed. Everybody was going to Harry Potter, anything to do with anything, horror, and I was just shocked. And then going to the movies, I went to go see Deadpool and Wolverine. Everybody else went to go see horror movies. I was just blown away by everybody wanted to see horror. It made no sense to me. But the hold on, Terry. Key, talk about it. It's not easy to get this movie made where you are in Kansas, right?
Oh.
And then talk about it. You got it into a theater. How many theaters?
We're in three. We've been in 3 theaters here locally in Kansas, around the Wichita area. There's also been like Salina, Kansas, and just locally around Wichita, not too far outside.
And then, so here's the thing. You've got 3 actors there. I am not one. You've got James, you got Terry, and you got Howard. Howard he's been in a horror movie. If you see the opening credits, he looks good all diced up. Terry loves Howard. I wouldn't be caught dead in a horror movie. You couldn't pay me to be in one. But Jamie, I don't know. She's an actress too. So talk about this. Not easy getting it into where you got it into. Congratulations, because you got it into that market, which is not easy to get any films into there. And then talk about this. Talk about your YouTube channel. Go ahead.
Okay, so a couple of years ago, while doing the YouTube channel, we did a trailer reaction to a movie called The Forest Hills. It was very early on in the production of The Forest Hills, but it had Shelley Duvall in it in the trailer. And as you guys know, she hasn't been acting in 20 years. And my favorite movie of all time and the greatest movie ever, if you're asking me, is The Shining. And so I love Shelley Duvall. So I had to do a reaction to this video, and I did. And, long story short, the director reaches out to me, and we become friends over time. And he brings me on as a producer into the movie. And I go down to Texas. I meet Shelley Duvall in person, and I interviewed her in person last year. As you guys may have known, she recently passed away. But that opportunity kind of opened a lot of doors and made it a lot easier for people to want to take, look at my movie, I think. And, shout out to Scott Goldberg and The Forest Hills that, released in theaters itself over the weekend. And I think, that has helped me a lot being a producer on that film. And, making a film in Wichita, Kansas, as you were saying, you couldn't imagine how difficult it is. You can't imagine how few there are, and there's very limited creators here that are doing this. You know, I talk about often how, you know, there's lots of filmmakers I know that sit around talking about making films all the time. But there's a difference, you know, you got to do it. And we did it, and it wasn't easy. It took a lot of time. Like I said, we started filming in December of 2021. You know, it's October 2024, and this movie is releasing. So it took a lot of time, a lot of work. But I'm proud to say this movie was all local, you know, all Wichita actors, all Wichita filmmakers, everything was local here. And that was something that we wanted to strive towards, because we really wanted to showcase that Wichita does have talent. You know, we're the biggest city in Kansas, but we really just don't get the appreciation that we feel we deserve. And so we really wanted to showcase that with this film. And I think we did. I think that's what stands out. Again, we have this huge ensemble cast of, you know, Mark Manette, Becky Janek, Shanna Berry, these huge Wichita theater actors that are well known around this area. And they bring it. And I think that shows. And I'm hoping that we get to maybe put Wichita more on the map with this whole thing.
And talk about your YouTube channel real quickly, how that started, because again, you started this before you did that film, and you got over 20,000 subscribers and over 7 million views. He's got more views than we have on our YouTube. We only have 2.1. So when he told me that, I'm like, how did you do that in Kansas? And I had him off to him. That's why I wanted to have him on. So
you know, when I first started, I started doing live streams at about 6 a.m, and it was every day, Monday through Friday, you know, for about 2 years. And I would say that it was a lot that helped a lot, you know, consistency, always doing it. Live streams at the time, YouTube were really pushing. Now everything's about shorts, you know, because we're living in the TikTok world. But, you know, back then, YouTube pushed me, you know, put it a lot, because it was almost a 2-hour live stream that was happening daily, you know, and that consistency really helped a lot. You know, I like to think that I'm a charismatic guy, and people just like me too. And I think that helped me go a long way as well. And then, you know, also I put a lot into the production value of the show. I wanted it to look, you know, almost like Sports Center for movies or something like that, you know, something that was really clean, you know, and crisp. And I have, you know, multiple camera angles for myself that we're switching to and stuff. And, you know, it may seem silly, but you know, I'm a producer at heart, and the production value had to be high for me. And I think that's what helped a lot, you know, us gain the subscribers and gain the momentum that we have. And you know, the Shelley Duvall interview obviously came later, and that helped a lot too. You know, I think that interview has over 50,000 views, and some of the short clips from it, you know, have millions of views. So really exciting thing to do. I had to take a break from the YouTube channel while making this film in the last year or so, but I plan on getting back to it, and I'm excited about it.
I told him to go back to it, and I said I would even be on the show talking about movies. And I said, we got Howard there, we have Rachel there, and Terry there, and a couple of other people. So I said, we got to make that happen. All right, Terry, sorry to go ahead, Terry.
Oh, I just am a horror movie. I love horror movies. That's like when I watch at night. I don't know why, but it's just my thing. I actually was one horror movie. I got killed by zombies, so that was fun. But my question is, this gave me a little bit of a Rob Zombie vibe. So, do you take an inspiration for Rob Zombie? Because I kind of got that, and like the A22 Studios, like kind of that kind of feel.
Sure. You know, to be honest with you, the most inspiration we probably take is from David Lynch. We're huge. We're huge Lynch fans. We're huge Twin Peaks fans. You'll see a lot of references to Twin Peaks and Lynch, and you know, all those kind of things. But also at the same time, we're big, you know, stoner comedy guys. You know, so it's kind of like a Kevin Smith script directed by David Lynch type of situation is how I would describe our film. So it's a very unique thing, but yeah, more so Lynch is the inspiration for sure.
Well, Lynch has a lot of like occultic, like weird stuff that he pulls into that. which is fascinates me because that stuff really does go on. So I mean, are you pulling from like some of that kind of energy that kind of Lynch pulls from? You would say?
Definitely, for sure.
Yeah,
There's
yeah.
that if you haven't seen the film, you should
I'm
we
gonna
can
see it.
definitely get you a screener link so you can check it out. But it is
Yeah,
it definitely has all those things. I don't want to spoil or anything for
yeah.
anyone, but yes, it is very much those vibes for sure.
It's just interesting because a lot of people don't understand David Lynch's films, and you have to watch Twin Peaks. You got to get through the first season to understand what's going on because there's so much depth to the art of David Lynch that people don't understand. I'm like, just get through the first season of Twin Peaks, and you're addicted.
Yeah, I
So.
believe the director of the film, we've been friends for a long time, and he taught me a long time ago that movies are meant to make you feel. And as long as the movie can make you feel, then it's done its job, no matter how good or bad that movie is. And whether that be crying or sad or whatever. And that's what we love about Lynch is he makes you feel, but you just don't know how you feel.
Yeah,
You're feeling
you're
something.
Like the icky horror movies. That's what
Right, well, maybe I should be laughing. I'm not sure how I should feel.
All right, Jamie. So here's the thing about David Lynch. I feel nothing when it comes to David Lynch. I've told him that many times. I still don't understand one of his movies to the day, whether it's Blue Velvet or whatever. I don't get it. But again,
I get it.
There's always an audience. That's why there's no right or wrong answer when it comes to movies. That's what I always say. And that's why I like to give people a chance. And whether it's Key, whether it's Jamie. And Jamie, if you can hear us, let's talk about for you, because you like to act. You also like to speak. So,
Howard, can you repeat what he says? Because you're the one that I can understand the clearest on this whole thing. Like,
okay.
Brian, what did he say?
Say it again, Brian.
Sorry.
What is
I don't know why your connection is the best to me.
What is it like to be that speaker and that actress for you?
What is it like to be that speaker and that actress?
What is it like to be that guest and that speaker? Being a speaker is amazing. I don't know. There's just something about being on a stage and just sharing your story and, pouring into other people. There's nothing like that. But at heart, I love acting. I've done several things in the acting industry. It was an outlet for me. So I've been doing this since I was in the 7th grade, and I've been in movies with Colin O'Donoghue. I'm sorry, I forgot for a second. The Dust Storm, I did some extra work on there. I've done music videos with Christian artists. I've done all kinds of things. The biggest production I was in was a stage play called Deception Fooled by a Feeling with Wes Morgan. And he's done a couple of Tyler Perry plays. And so there's just no greater feeling I don't know. For me, I can't explain it because I just come alive in front of a camera. It's like something in me. It's like lights, camera, action, it's on. And so that for me, it's just something I think is in my DNA, Can you relate to that, Howard, or anybody on the panel?
Absolutely.
I can.
What was your favorite character to play?
My favorite character was when I played Trisha in Deception Fooled by a Feeling. I played the best friend. We traveled. It was an incredible play.
Was that closer to what you're truly like?
No. Well, yeah, because I was a loyal best friend in that play,
Okay.
But I was like the bougie best friend. I look like the gold digger. I'm not a gold digger, but I'm definitely a loyal best friend. Basically the play was the girl left her Christian family home to go be with this guy, and then she marries him against her family wishes and ends up finding out that the guy is gay, and then she ended up getting pregnant by him and everything. So it was just and that was like a true story. My friend wrote that play based off of a true story of a really good friend of hers. So it was pretty fun to play and be in that. So yeah. But it was also fun to be on movie sets, because I don't know if any of you've done stage places versus movie sets. They're so
Different.
completely different. Stage plays, it's like, okay, and action. There's no, hey, stop. We're gonna redo this scene. I've been on the set of Nashville a few times. It's like you're recording and doing stuff over and over and over for hours to get the perfection. Whereas if you have one shot with a stage play, so I think I really enjoy the adrenaline rush of doing stage plays, and I think that's probably why I like speaking so much as well. I like that adrenaline of, okay, it's sink or swim, baby. Let's do this, you know?
And Orly, see, everybody likes speaking. When we go to Tennessee, we have our panels, and I always make sure I get all the hosts on our panels, because this is their time to shine when it happens like that. When you're looking for new people, or people are coming to you, what are your requirements first? Because you probably have that one thing that nobody else offers in the world. That is, you're going to make this much money with me in 1 year or else.
Yeah, I am the only one in the world that guarantees you'll make 150K your first year, or I work with you until you do. What people are not understanding about this industry, which is an amazing industry as well, is that it's a $113.2 billion industry around the world. There are 64,000 events per day in America alone, that Canada and the United States, that pay speakers. I actually wrote the book about it. It's called Public Speakers, You're Not All That, 12 Reasons Why Event Planners Won't Hire You. And I had to interview over 3,400 event planners that actually pay speakers for this book. So it took me 4.5 years out of my own time and my own dime to get it out of the horse's mouth. So what I found out is that not only the statistics that I mentioned to you, but many people are hung up on what should they speak about, or what's the hottest topic. Here are the 3 top hottest topics, and everybody falls under those 3: wealth, health, and relationships. So if you tell me what you speak about, I can tell you which one you fall under. And no matter what, it's not about you speaking. As you guys talked about being actors and even singers, they're always working on their craft, because they're always learning either new songs or new positions in a movie or in a play or whatever that is. And it's the same thing with public speaking. It's a craft that we need to keep working on. But if you do have a message, and it's not a competition of stories, you said earlier, Brian, that we all have a story. Yes, it's not a competition of stories. Somebody needs to hear your message. And you know what they say, when the student is ready, the teacher will come. So we will be there when they need to hear it. But this industry is amazing, and it's growing by the minute. So we are all needed. So what do I look for? I just look for people who don't think they know it all. Because when you know it all, you can't grow, you can't learn. And whether you're a bad speaker or a good speaker, whatever it is, look, if you're a bad speaker, they're just not going to call you back. But there are 64,000 other a day that will hire you. So why would you worry about it, right? Just work on your craft and know that you can be paid for your information. And one last thing is that I don't know how old you are and what you've been through, but your story, whatever it is, you paid for it. You paid for it with time, money, education, blood, sweat, tears, aggravations, ups and downs. And that's your intellectual property. Don't give it away.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And I have a question. So I am in the world of my day job. I'm in medical sales, and I work in the world of orthopedics. So I'm actually doing public speaking every day. So I'm thinking that would probably be to my benefit. But when I do get on stage, because I do really want to do this, because I've got a lot of messages to talk about. One is like health, fitness over the age of 45. I've been through trauma with bad relationships, and now I'm dealing with a mom that has dementia. But I want to use comedy, so I think that probably the best thing to do is just what you're natural at, because I want to make people laugh through the pain. You know what I mean? Because that's how I have dealt with my own trauma. So I guess you should probably pick how you are how you communicate the best. Is that what you would say? Like, just use your authentic self when you're up there?
Yes, always use your. When you see me, I'm like this no matter what. I don't take drugs, alcohol, or whatever. I'm always in a good mood. And Brian says she has great energy. I'm always grateful to be above ground. So every day above ground is a good day. And what I say to people is, if you're passionate about anything, you have a good message. And if you're passionate about anything, you're also a good speaker. Stop nodding it in your head and fighting with what you are. You are who you are. You lived through what you lived through, and you said it perfectly. Yes, whatever you're passionate about, whether it's making people laugh or whatever, that's edutainment, right? That's a good way to start. It doesn't matter. It's if somebody's willing to pay. That's my tagline is, if you have a message, somebody's willing to pay for it. That's it.
Well, that's what makes some comedians the funniest, is they're coming from real stuff that really happens that people can relate to.
Absolutely.
So I kind of want to go down that road, because if you don't laugh through the pain, I mean, if you laugh through the pain, it won't kill you. But I mean, if you don't, you will get depressed, and it can destroy you. So the best thing to do is just to try to get through it with laughter. Does that make any sense? I don't know. That's just what I.
Of course it does. Of course it does. Yeah. That's what comedies are built on, and that's why they still call it comedy, because it's very therapeutic. And whatever makes you happy, though, whatever makes you happy to do that for other people, because this is all about impact, right? And that's what we're all looking for, whether it's through our movies, through our acting, through our speaking, through our coaching, whatever it is that we do, we only feel that we want other people to feel that they matter. We want to feel like we're contributing to their lives and we're making impact.
And that's the whole thing about it. And, I just tell people are more visual now. So it comes to a lot of things. All right, we're going to show a couple of photos from things.
Cool.
60th anniversary. This is all today, last minute. One of the winners. Terri, you know about all of this stuff. This is your world.
Yeah, it's my world.
There were a lot of amateurs that didn't get any publicity. I love the photos that Jamie put up here, so we wanted to show those in person. And no matter what, she still makes me laugh, so that's why I wanted to have her on, because she needs those things too, and she deserves those things. And then Orly, when it comes to things like that, you know what? It's always about those speakers. But Orly, before I get to that answer from you, all right, Howard, let's talk about this. We always see some of this. What is this exactly?
That's my living room, and that's from my first Christmas book that I was in. So I wanted to do something unexpected. So I've got the scarves on the Black Amors, and that's an antique wreath off of a French statue that I had painted. I didn't want to do the typical Christmas. I wanted to do something a little different. So, and my whole thing is, I don't have trauma in my life. I inspire people every day when I talk, because I talk about interior design. And I have this little saying, there's a lot of Howard Wiggins wannabe, because every day I run into people and I lift their spirits. I look at their.
Did I lose you?
All right.
Howard.
This one.
Wow, that's beautiful.
Oh, did we lose Howard? We probably lost him.
I think we lost him.
I'll be right back. There he is.
Oh, memorable. That's the entryway. I'm a maximalist. I like every little space I have to have something in it. I love antiques. I love new. I like to be creative. I like to do things that nobody else has done. So I'm always looking for something new and different to do. That's a wallpaper ceiling. And actually, my front door, which is not shown there, it's done in black masking tape with shoe polish. My floors are burlap. So I do things that nobody else does, because people always talk about being timeless. And I said, the only way you can be timeless is be different than everybody else. Because if you copy the trends, you're looking like that year. And the best homes look like they're acquired through time, not done at one time. And I'm not one of those believers just because if it looks good, it will always look good. And the key that I learned for myself, I look through old interior design books, and if it still looks good to me, that was good design. If it looks dated, that was bad design. And an example I give all the time is Coco Chanel's apartment. If you Google Coco Chanel's apartment, it was done in 1920s, I would move into it today and not change one thing, because it was a comfortable suede sofa, books, Oriental accents. It was a mixture of simple and ornate, and it stood the test of time. So there's no better thing than that. So that's it. Those are my Black Amors. There's 3 pairs in the world. Prince Charles has a pair on his yacht, and there's one in $1 million bathroom, and I own the 3rd one, and that's all rock crystal. And then the pedestals I had designed myself and had to make it support it. And you can't see in the picture, but there's a little picture frame that I had built around the base to kind of stair step it. So there's the statue actually looks like it's floating off the pedestal because you can't see where it touches. So I always, to the nth detail to everything I do. So
beautiful.
Thank you.
Beautiful.
What else you got, Brian?
Oh, wow.
That's
beautiful.
looking out of my guest bedroom into the hallway that's close to where I am. At the end of it's the Oriental bedroom, and I'm in the Oriental bathroom as we speak. I also believe I like everything. I'm a designer. I like antiques. I like Oriental. I like contemporary. I like color. There's no color that doesn't go with any other color. And the example I have of that, I could go out and pick flowers randomly, and I can come home and make them beautiful. It's not the colors going together. It's the way you coordinate them and the way you direct your eye.
Makes total sense.
You know, people right now are doing all this. They're all copying each other and do white. And I tell people, white goes with any color except white. Because when you put white with white, it could be a blue white, a gray white, a tannish white, a yellow white. And if they're not the same shade of white, it kind of looks dirty against each other. But put it with any color, it looks better. So I have so many rules you wouldn't believe. I wrote a book called Recognizing Mistakes That Everybody Makes, and everybody does make the same mistakes. I've been in the business all my life since I'm 20, and I see it over and over and over again.
All right, Howard. So this is the last one. What is this? This is interesting.
This is going off the entryway down the hallway, and the whole wall to my right as I'm facing it, it's all mirrored. And there's a painting on that mirror that I had when I was single, and I forgot about it, and I had it under the bed for probably 20, 30 years. And I found it because I didn't have a place when I moved that Jody liked it. And I had another artist that could do etching in glass. So what I did, I took a mirrored top and put it on top of the painting, and it's etched to see below the painting. And if you can see it really closely, nobody's ever done that as far as I know, because it's like stucco underneath and mirrored on top, but you can see the two together. There again, I'm always trying to think outside the box and do something different. Like up at the top, you'll see there's a book. It's got flowers on it. That little binding around it, the edge of the book, I had them copy the edge of the book and make that mat that matches the book. So I do all kinds of stuff. That's the guest bedroom. That's a Polonaise bed. My cameo collection against the wall has over 100 cameos that I collected since my son was born, and I collected them for 18 years. In the ceiling, you know, I'm all about painting. I have never, ever one time painted a white ceiling in all my life because I don't believe in white ceilings. I have 8-foot ceilings. Anytime you can draw your eye up, it's going to make your ceiling look taller. So it's a surface just like everything else, and it needs the details just like everything else. So
Howard, let's talk about the room that you're in. We got a couple minutes left. Go for it.
Well, it's my Oriental bathroom off of my Oriental bedroom. So I have a jacuzzi tub, which just like everybody else, I never use that jacuzzi. So I'm like, but I'm not getting rid of it. So what I did, I put a plywood board on it, and I call it my garden tub, because now it's just a display table for all my collections of Oriental things. But my wife loves to sit in the bathroom and look at herself in the mirror and get her stuff laid out and her jewelry laid out. And she'll spend hours in the bathroom. So it's a pleasing place for her to sit. So.
All right. So, Keys, talk about this. give you social media links for everybody. Where they go see this movie while it's still playing.
Okay, so you can find me on pretty much every social media, just Keaton Toothman. Right now, it's playing in a limited, like I said, run here in Kansas. But soon here, October 24th, we'll release on Amazon Prime Video for rent and for purchase.
And your advice to people in small areas that they wouldn't think they could make a movie and get it out there.
Listen, my advice is simple, and I hope everyone really takes it. We live in a world now where pretty much everyone has a better camera on their phone than most people had 20 years ago. So just pick up your phone, press record, and start. Like I said, I know a lot of people, real talented people that spend a lot of their time sitting around talking about making a movie. But the difference between them and someone like me who has done it is you have to get up and you have to make the movie. And so anyone can do it now with these cameras we have in our pockets. So my advice to any young filmmaker out there would be just grab your phone, get your buddies, press record.
And Jamie, if you can hear us, hopefully, give your social media links for everybody, how they can reach out to you and to buy your books.
Social media links.
Say that again,
Jamie.
Howard?
Social media links. Give your social media links and how they can buy your book.
So everybody sounds real choppy. I don't know what was said. I'm so sorry.
Okay.
I don't have my earbuds in and I'm on my Wi-Fi.
How can people reach you and how can they get your book?
Where can you get my books?
Yes, ma'am.
You can go to Amazon.com and get them on Amazon. Diamond in the Rough looks like this.
Beautiful.
And this is basically an autobiography of my walk as a believer and all the mistakes that I made. And this one is just a little, I call it a 31-day little nugget, a journal. I actually want to revamp this and make this a 1,000-page journal is what I want to do. But it's called Encouragement Matters, and they're both on Amazon right now.
And Howard, give your social media links and how people can reach out to you and if they can buy your former book.
No, well, Howard
Say that
Wiggins, Howard Wiggins' Facebook. I have a Christmas book right out that features my home by Patricia Hart McMillan, and you can go to any bookstore around the world and get that. You can buy my Andrew Martin Volume 3 at any bookstore, again, around the world. I've got another Patricia Hart McMillan book that I'm featured in. Just go to the bookstore and ask for something by Howard Wiggins. They'll probably find something for you. And then I'm in many different magazines all the time. So, and I used to write for Kentucky Homes and Gardens and Nashville Homes and Gardens and several different magazines. So,
nonstop.
You can find me at Terri Marie Nonstop on all platforms, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, and then TerriMarieOfficial.com.
Orly, you get the last word. Go for it.
Thank you. So you can pick up my book, Public Speakers, You're Not All That, 12 Reasons Why Event Planners Won't Hire You, on Amazon. And you can visit my website, meetorlyamor.com, MEET, Orly, ORLYAMOR.com.
And where are you speaking coming up next?
I am speaking in Colorado next at the end of this month, and I'm going on a cruise in a week, so I will be on a cruise for a week. I just came off of the speaker's cruise, so if you want to know more, just hit me up on any social media. I am Orly Amor.
And so let's see. Movies really quickly. We got 60 seconds. Wolves. Brad Pitt, George Clooney on Apple TV, Apple Plus. We've got, Mr. McMahon. 6-part series on Netflix, which is really good. And we've got a bunch of other things coming out and going on right now. The 60th anniversary of the Olympia tomorrow, Terri, is bodybuilding, women's physique, men's classic, and men's physique. And that'll be really good. And that's at the resorts in Las Vegas, Nevada. I want to thank you, everybody, for this. Like I said, it's never easy throwing people in at the last minute. It's never easy with you just never know what's going to happen. So I understand all of this stuff, but the whole thing is it's about getting the message out, right, Orly? That's what it's always about. And like what Key did, getting those films out. And like I said, he reached out to me And I'm all about people reaching out because they got to get the word out. And I'm happy that he's got his movie in the theater. You know, that's not easy to do. So I got to say, thank you, everybody. Have a good night tonight. A better day tomorrow. If you see someone without a smile, please give them one of yours because the world needs it. I'm Brian Sebastian. This is Movie Reviews and More, and we will see you next week.